Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I have a video for you guys, and this video is basically a sit down and talk with me today. And basically what I want to talk about is dating someone in the military. For all my people who want to know the tips of dating someone in the military and what to look for in dating somebody in the military, I'm here for you guys today. So before we do anything, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And also, don't forget to be a part of my giveaway. It's still going on to the end of February. But other than that, let's hop right into the... Okay guys, so I have 5 main points that I want to talk to you guys today about dating someone in the military. And one of them is distance. Distance definitely plays a part when dating someone in the military, because they could be hours away and you will never get a chance to see them, especially like if they're always in the field. Like for me, the Terriers was in California and I was all the way in Tennessee. So it's just like, when I wanted to talk to him, I couldn't talk to him because he was always doing other things on top of that. And plus, when I wanted to see him, it was just like I had to always go see him versus him coming to see me because of the way that the military is set up. So another thing is time zones. So time zones kind of has its ups and downs when dating someone in the military, but really it definitely played like a big part for me because I was 2 hours ahead. So when I was thinking that, I could talk to the terrorists while I was walking around campus, he'll be at work or just now waking up, and it was hard. So time zone definitely plays a part sometimes. Different schedules. So in the military, their schedule change a lot. Like they never have a consistent schedule. And I'm the type of person where, I like to know how to plan my day according to other people's days. And it was just like, it was hard because sometimes I would think like, oh, he's going to get off at 5 and he don't get off to like 10, or he had to be at work for like 24 hours, and it was just a lot, and it was tough. But when I got to talk to him, we'll talk on the phone for hours, and it was even times when we used to sleep on the phone with each other, and we used to wake up. Like sometimes he'll get up before me, and it was tough for real because I like my sleep, but everything like that. So another thing I had to deal with was him going to the field. And that was like my biggest thing that I hated the most about him being in the military. The field takes up their time. It takes up so much time. And it's just like, they be in the field for about 5 days. It could go to 10 days. One time, the Terriers was in the field for about 45 days. And sometimes there's no service. His phone sometimes died a lot, and it was tough. And like when we did talk, it was like for like 10 minutes maybe. Or if we tried to like sleep on the phone, it was hard because like he had a lot of people around him that snored. And I was just like, oh no, like I can't do it. Like I'll just talk to you whenever. So also communication gap. Sometimes when dating someone in the military, it's like you want them to hear you, but it's just like, are they really understanding what you're going through? I mean, it was times where I'll talk on the phone with the terrorists, and like sometimes we just didn't know what to say. Like we would just hold the phone or just look at each other on FaceTime. And for a minute when we first started dating, that was like the thing that we did. We used to just hold the phone. But after we kind of like got to grow on each other and, talk to each other more. Like, our communication is one thing that we value the most, because if anything, you have to have somebody to talk to through all this. Like, the military is hard. Not only is it hard for us, but it's also hard for them, because I know for sure that they miss their loved ones at times and they can't see them when they want to. So I know that's one thing for sure that I had to go through. And I mean, I can only imagine if you guys went through the same things that I went through. But dating somebody in the military is tough. Don't get me wrong, it's rewarding, but it's definitely tough. And you got to have the mindset like, hey, this is the person I want to be with. Like, if they're willing to try, I'm willing to try. And that's all that matters at this point. Like, you're willing to try with one another. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is deployment. So deployment was one of the most toughest times for me, because there was no way I could get in contact with the terrorists, and I was just, always kind of worried about everything and stuff like that. And I used to always keep up like with the military website to like see what was going on, and it was like a whole lot of things that used to like freak me out, and I just didn't know what to do. And the things that I did the most when it was time for deployment, I used to send sweet messages every morning when I got up, just to keep the terrorists like encouraged and let him know that it's going to be okay. Like, I know you miss your family, but we're all here for you. Just make sure that you make it home back safely. Like, those type of things. Like, it was always the small things that mattered. And I used to always pray. Every day I used to pray from like sun up to sundown. Like, every time he was on my mind, I would pray. And when I used to go to church for like Bible study and stuff like that, I used to put in like a special prayer request for him and, his friends and their families and stuff like that. And I also kept myself busy. So when I was in college, I was working 3 jobs and I was a full-time student. So 2 of my jobs, I was working close to about 30 hours a week. And then on top of that, I had an internship, and then I had night classes. So it was just a lot. So I made sure that I kept myself busy. And if I wasn't busy, I used to always hang out with my friends. So I wouldn't have to like just think about stuff and, feel sad, because half of the times I did, get into a mood where I felt like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I feel like I'm not doing anything to help at this point. And certain things, you just have to let go and just let it be, and just pray for the best thing as possible. Like, try to keep all those negative thoughts out of your mind. So also surround yourself with loved ones. Like, I feel like there was the most time me and the terrorist's mom and his sister like actually built like a real big bond, because we had to deal with that. And it was just like, there was her son, there was, his sister brother, and then there was my boyfriend. So I just feel like, the only way to make sure all of us were okay was that we checked up on each other, hung out as much as possible, and everything like that. Not only that, like, my family used to always keep me on the go. Like, we used to do stuff, my friends, we used to always go party or get some food or something like that. And basically that's what got me through the whole 7 months. But when it comes to deployment, trust and communication is key. In any relationship, trust and communication is key. In order to build a relationship, you have to have trust. And that was one thing that we did. Like, before all this happened, we always trusted each other. Like, I never had to worry about him doing things, and he never had to worry about me doing things. And when we had things that we felt like we need to like address, we'll talk it out. And basically that's what we did. And I just, Every time I talked to him, it was always something positive. It was never nothing negative. Because in that time, you just don't know what people go through. And I feel like they dealt with a lot. So I try to make sure that every conversation that we had was positive. And every day I used to tell him I love him. When I talk to him, I tell him I love him and I'll be seeing him soon. So definitely in a relationship, especially when dating somebody in the military, trust and communication. That's the biggest thing because it's already a lot. So yeah. So if anything, tell your loved ones when they are definitely going through deployment to keep a positive mindset, because I'm pretty sure they, sometimes can lose their sanity, especially if they're dealing with different cultures and everything like that. It's a lot. So make sure that you guys communicate and trust each other. So next thing we're going to talk about is the aftermath of deployment. So the terrorist was at home for about almost 2 months, maybe. Probably less than that. I really can't remember, but I know the time went by quick as soon as he got back. And in that time frame, the terrorists had insomnia because when they were on the boat, they used to stay up all night, and they only used to get a couple hours of sleep or maybe a couple minutes. He definitely had insomnia for a minute. And I could also remember when he came back, we used to go out and he used to wander off, and I used to be like, what is he doing? Why he not, by my side? But I mean, he just, I don't know, I feel like he changed a little bit, and it was just something that I couldn't understand. Maybe I will never understand why, but definitely when it comes to deployment, I don't know how it is for certain people, but the terrorist deployment wasn't as tragic as others, so we were able to talk it out. And one thing about people who are just coming back from deployment, it's best to ensure them that everything is okay. You got me, you got your family, we all support you, we're your support system. And if you want to talk about deployment, I'm all ears. So definitely after deployment, always be an opening ear, because I'm pretty sure they done went through some things that they probably don't want to talk about. But another thing, we spent a lot of time with each other. And another thing we did was, instead of always going out, we used to just relax at the house, watch a movie, order some pizza or something like that. And another thing, you have to let him or her come to you when they're ready. So if it's things that you were used to then that you're not used to now, you have to help them get back into that mode of who they were. And I think that was the only thing that I had to worry about was him always waking up in the middle of the night. And he used to jump in his sleep. That was tough. He used to do that a lot. So, sometimes he'll talk about deployment now, but back then, not as much as he talk about it now. So definitely be by their side no matter what. If you know this is the person that you want to be with and that you want to build a relationship with and have a family with and everything like that, definitely stick by their side 100%. Because deployment is a tough cookie. And imagine some of the people who go on deployment for 7 months and get to go home for a week or two and head right back out. So I know that can be tough. And I know, like, when the terrorists went back from after deployment, he went straight back to the field. Like, it was a lot. Like, you got used to always seeing them, then they leave, and then they come back, and then you hear from them for a couple hours, and then you don't. Like, who, child? Now that I'm talking about it was a lot, okay? A whole lot. So let's talk about the vacation part of being in the military. So they either get to come home for either Thanksgiving and Christmas, or they just come for either one. So I knew that I would see the series every Christmas. And what used to make me mad was he had a certain amount of days, and I used to get mad because when he used to come in, his flights used to always get delayed. So I had to deal with that. And then it was times where he used to like have to sleep at the airport because of delays. And I'm just like, dang, like you running out of time, dude. Like, your time is running up. Like, come home. And it used to be times where we was like, okay, forget it. We're going to come and pick you up ourselves. But he used to be like, nah, don't do that. But also, so in the military, they teach them that going home is a privilege. And sometimes they can, sometimes they can't. And that was tough. And sometimes when they're at home on vacation, they could definitely get called back to go back if needed. And that was tough. But I don't think I dealt with that yet. So, I mean, I remember, like, as soon as he used to get back from vacation time with us and his family, like, he used to have to go straight back to the field or do some crazy stuff. And it was just like, dang, like, it's tough. And the time that they spend at home doesn't equal up to the time that you spend not seeing them. Like, they used to eat me up. And then having to split it between me and him and family, like, that was tough for me. Especially, like, when we first started dating. Because I always wanted to see him. And it was just like, he's real big on family like I am. So I kind of understood, with seeing me and his family. And his family is huge. So I know that it used to eat him up when he couldn't see, like, all his family. So with vacation time, you just have to look out for all that. Like, they could get called back at any time. Spending time between family and y'all relationship, like, it's definitely a lot. So that's what I learned when it came to him coming home for vacation. But them planes, they could definitely get it, bro. Like, they used to piss me off, like, all the way off. Like, how your flight say you supposed to be at home at this time, and then you don't get home till, like, the next day. Like, that was just a lot for me. But other than that, let's get to the next part of this. So when it came to emotions, it was hard because I knew the Terry's way before he got in the military. Like, we were good friends. And dating him while in the military and him getting out now, I could definitely see a difference. Like, he's more of the man that I expected him to be, and I just felt like the military was holding that back a little bit because of the distance and the time and everything. But it was a lot of things that had to, like, get back on track. Like, in the military, they eat fast because they don't have long to eat. So he used to, like, be done with his food before me. And I used to be like, okay, calm it down. Let's enjoy our time sitting and talking. Like, you don't have to rush. It's not going nowhere. But it was that. Him wandering off was another thing that I had to deal with for a minute. And I used to be like, bro, it's Memphis. I don't think you need to be wandering off too far, okay? And it was hard to like him to open up. Like he had this nonchalant attitude. And it was just like, by me being me, like, if I'm passionate about something, I'm going to always open up. And he was just like, you know, he'll listen, but it was just like, okay. So it was a lot of things that we had to work on after he got out. And now our relationship is strong. Like, I think deployment was the highlight of everything. Like, that basically made us realize, like, hey, shoot, she's stuck by me. Like, this is who I want. I'm just like, you know, he'll do anything for me, and he loves me for me. Like, he don't pressure me to do anything. Like, he tells me I'm beautiful. Like, it's just the things, the small things for me especially, that counts. And I try to do everything that I can to like let him know that I for real love him. And this how it should be. I mean, if you make the choice of being with somebody in the military and you know like this is the one for you, and if you're not sure how to deal with all this, like, talk about it. Don't just hold it in. Like, try to figure it out together. And that's basically what it is. Like, you have to figure each other out, especially like with long distance. You have to think about things and like see it from their perspective, and they have to see it from your perspective. So it was a lot, but you know, I wouldn't trade it for nothing. And I'm glad that, you know, I was able to go through this journey with him. And now that we get to spend time with each other, like, we're actually enjoying each other. So don't think of the military as a bad thing, but see it as a good thing, because that person genuinely cares for you and they're willing to do everything for you. So don't let the bad outweigh the good, because there's always. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little video. I hope that I helped somebody along the way on tips and what to look for when dating somebody in the military. I know a lot of people may say that dating someone in the military is not the move, but to be honest, it's very rewarding. Like, you find who you are when the person is away, and when you guys actually get to reunite, it's definitely a good thing. Like, you learn about each other more, like you love each other more, like what you thought you knew about the person, you know more as you constantly go along this journey with each other. But other than that, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, don't forget to like, comment, and to subscribe. And be on the lookout for more videos. But other than that, see you guys next time.